Hi, this is Beverly Mahone, your communications coach, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what makes a good essay or research paper. Many times students will come in and have a great idea for a topic for their paper, but then they can't seem to flush it out from there. So, what we do, first things first, is we sit down and get clarity on exactly what type of paper they're supposed to be writing. Is it argumentative or is it informational? That's very important because if it's argumentative, that means that they're going to have to take a position and they're going to have to argue that position throughout the paper. If it's strictly informational, then all they're going to do is just give information. So if you're going to talk about homelessness, you could talk about, the number of homeless people in the United States, and then break it down by state. And you could talk about, are there more homeless men than women, et cetera, et cetera. So once again, you're not taking a position, you're just basically giving the facts. And then once you have figured out exactly what type of paper you're supposed to be writing, comes the introduction. The introduction is really important because the first sentence is supposed to capture your attention. So if I am talking about homelessness, I might say something like, quote someone, for example. I don't know if you remember The Pursuit of Happiness, but one of the things that the main character in that movie said, I may be homeless, but I'm not hopeless. So, something that just immediately grabs the attention of the reader. And then you start looking at the who, what, where, when, why, and how. That is how you will start to construct your introduction because you'll want to incorporate, you know, why is this relevant? How did it happen? Um, when is it going to move to the next level, et cetera, et cetera. So you won't use all of those, but you'll at least use maybe two to four in order to make your point. Now, recently I had a student come in and they wanted to write about financial literacy. They thought that it should be a requirement for all high school students. I thought it was a great idea. But the student didn't really understand financial literacy other than you work, you get a check, you deposit it, you pay bills. And yes, that's a part of financial literacy. So we sat down and we brainstormed and we talked about the stock market, we talked about bankruptcy, we talked about debt, we talked about 401ks. So he got a better sense of what all falls under that umbrella. And then once he finally completed his paper and turned it in, he let me know that he received a 93, which was a great job. Once again, when you're writing your paper, make sure you understand what type of paper you're writing. Is it argumentative or is it information? Then your who, what, where, when, why, and how, flush that out. And in your conclusion, if it's argumentative, you are just going to reemphasize what you said and then give us, something compelling at the end in order to wrap it all up. If it's just informational, then you could tell us about future trends. Perhaps by 2050, half of the United States will consist of homeless people. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, that would be some really great detail to know. Okay, so that's how you write a good paper. And remember this, you have gifts to give the world. So find your voice and the right vocabulary and prosper. See ya.